Alright, so let's get started. These are the covers from the last video that I just did. Remember, this is page 12 because we're going to be using the Glassine bags. And this is for the standard envelope, which is on, I marked it so I wouldn't have trouble, page 22. Now, if you're not going to use the Glassine envelopes, because remember the envelope is going to, Glassine envelope, the Glassine bag, remember the envelope is going to slide into there like that. So if you're not going to be using these, then you can use page 38 for the covers. But I'm going to be using those, so I'm going to be using page 12 for the covers, which I already did. Okay, so I wanted to do like a little refresher here real quick. Oh, by the way, I'm using Blush Paper Line by, does it say it? Oh, you can't really see it, but it says Blue Fern Studios right there. And it's a new release, and it's a Valentine's release, so you should be able to find it. I found it at Blue Moon Scrapbooking, so I will try to link it all in the description below, just like I will a link where you can find these bags and the doilies. But I just wanted to remind everybody that where I live, it's 8.5 by 11 standard paper size. So what I have to do for my 12 by 12 cardstock so that I can send it through the printer is first I got to cut this extra piece off right here, which I should keep that because that's really a pretty piece. And then I have to cut it down to 8.5 by 11. So I need to decide how I want to cut it. I still have gesso on my fingers. I just got done with the covers. Sorry about that. So I think I'm going to cut it like this. I'm going to cut 8.5 right here. So that leaves me this 3.5 by 12 inch piece. And then I'm going to cut it down to 11 here. So there's my 1-inch piece. So here is my job ticket holder that I put all my scraps in. So there's where that piece goes. And I showed you all how to make this in my The Making of a Scrapbook Keeper book. And this one is one of the ones I sewed. So I imagine this is going to be a little bit sturdier than the fuse tool, We Are Memory Keepers fuse tool one, because it shouldn't split apart like the other one did. So anyway, so I'll always go ahead and stick them in there so that they don't get lost, because I like to use those for specific purposes. So now I have a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So it's this paper is double-sided. So I'm going to go run this through my printer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I ran it through my printer, and it now looks like this. So this is page 22, and there's the envelope, and there's the extra little, these are mats actually for another piece, but I'm going to try to figure out something to use them for in this album. So I'm going to cut this out off camera because you've all seen me do this a couple times in many other videos, but it's just, you know, pretty simple. You just cut it all the way around and then score on all the marks and fold it and put it together. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got it all scored, folded, glued, inked, all ready to go. And I wanted to use some more of these clear Velcro. Oh, my printer's getting ready to start printing. Oh shoot. Can you hear it? I'm sorry, I'm telling it to print the inserts for these, and I forgot. Oops. These are the thin clear fasteners from Velcro, and they're really tiny, and one side's clear and one side's white, but I don't think the white will be too off-putting with this soft color paper. So I am going to stick one on here on this end. Sorry about the printer, good grief. And I'm going to attach, oh, ripped it. Oh, that's not good. There we go, there's one that's cut. Then I'm going to attach one onto it like that. I'm not sure what's going on. My camera keeps turning off. So I just put the Velcro on there. You can't really see that side. You barely can. You can hardly see that side too. But look how thin it is. You can't even, I mean, it's not even an 1/8 of an inch. It might be like a 1/16 of an inch. It's really, really, well, there's no way I can show you. It's really tiny. But anyway, it's just enough hold. Well, in addition to that, oh, let's not stick those together. I found while I was searching through all my stuff, I found these, it's from Basic Gray. I'm pretty sure I probably got them like a Tuesday morning or something. And they're called wax seals, and I thought they would be perfect for these little love letters that we're making here. Oh yeah, these are really old. These are 2012. But you never know. You might be able to find something like this or make your own wax seals. But I've already done one, and I put a little gesso on it just to kind of grunge it up a little bit. And it's kind of weird. It's a sticker, but it's like not a sticker. I mean, it's like a restickable sticker. Does that make sense? A restickable sticker? I think it probably does. So I've got just enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my gesso again. And I'm just going to add a little highlight to it. This time I think I'm going to use a smaller brush. Yep. Sorry about my printer going off like that. I'm just going to use a flat brush. This one is Claudine Helmuth Studio brush. And you don't really need that much paint. You just kind of want to, you know, just get on the edge a little bit there. And I don't know what they say. Some of them say quality, seal of approval or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll find something cute to stick in the center. So it's real simple. Just to add a little something, something. Hopefully my camera's not turning off. This one says handmade, which is cute. So just that simple. And like I said, they're kind of re-stickable. Like they're sticky over and over. And it's really kind of neat. Kind of like a wax, not really like a wax seal, because once you pop a wax seal, it's open. But this one, like I said, it's not really a sticker. And I got that Velcro on there. But I don't know, it's just weird. So it holds it down, it sticks down, it's not really holding it down, but anyway, so it's the cuteness factor that I like. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these on here to each one of these cute little envelopes, because I think it's just that extra something, extra little something something. And you can make your own, like look, watch, I'm just going to show you. I can just peel it right back up. It's so ridiculous. It's interesting. You can make your own wax seals by using actual wax, but you won't be able to get those back up. You can make it with glue sticks, and that way you can let it harden on like a heat-resistant surface, and then you can glue it on for like decoration. And there's another one. I just thought these were cute, and I'm trying to use up all my stuff that I've got. I've got so much stuff. It's ridiculous. And then, so I've got 6 envelopes here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to use all 6. It might get too thick, because remember I've got my covers here. So it might get too thick. I might not have a big enough rings for it. Binder rings, or not binder rings, spiral thingies. Okay, so let me go grab what I printed off. And I'll be back. So what I ended up doing was page 23, I went ahead and got the template out just in case, is the insert for this envelope. And I'm going to use these two down here. And I printed them off in the doily pattern. And I think I'm going to make like a little booklet, kind of like, you know, like a little love letter type deal. So I am going to cut them out. Well, I'm going to show you how I cut out one, because there is a little bit of a trick. Let me get my paper trimmer. This is a Fiskars Precision Rotary Paper Trimmer, in case anybody wants to know. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that other insert off. This one will also fit in the envelope. And you know what else will fit in those envelopes? A 4x6 picture, or a 4x6 journaling card, or one of those. So before I cut any more, I'm going to get my thick fun foam scoring mat, is what I call it, out. It's not, it's just a thick piece of fun foam. I'm just repurposing it. This is great if you want to use some of your die cuts for stamps. You cut your die cut, or you die cut it out with your real thick, like steel die cuts, and you can make your own stamps with this stuff. That's why I had originally bought it a long time ago. I bought a bigger sheet. So I'm just going to score down the center, just like that. And I'm going to fold it in half. Like that. And then I'm going to finish trimming it out so that way it's even on all sides. Like that. And it should be pretty even. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it on itself. I'm going to have the doily pattern on the inside. And of course I'm going to ink up all my edges. But what I plan on doing is using some of my leftover cut off pieces and matting it. Just like that. So if the cut off pieces are 3.5 by 12, and these, I think this measure is 4 by 6. I'm almost pretty positive. 4 by 6, yeah. So what I want, since there's going to be 1/4 of an inch on the width, I need to make sure there's 1/4 of an inch on top and bottom. So that way I'll have to cut it at 5 and 5.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all my my large cut off pieces here, and they're going to be going. Like for example, I'll just use this as an example. Let me move them. Oops. Throwing the wrong piece down and grabbing the other. So I really like this image. I think that's a really pretty image. So I'm just going to cut it down to, I'm pretty sure it's 5.5. I'm hoping I'm thinking correctly. Yes. So like right there. And then I've got this other part, then I can either flip it over and do the back side, or I can leave it. I think I'll flip it. So I'm going to cut this one down to 5.5, like that. I'm going to keep those pieces. So now I can cover both sides. Let me move this for a second. I think what I'm going to do to match the pretty covers that I made, I think I'm going to use my Prima Distress tool. Maybe not do it as heavy this time. Maybe go a little lighter. The cardstock I use to print out on this is just standard. You get it at the office supply store, 110 pound white cardstock. It's cardstock, not cover stock. Cover stock is not as nice. It's cheaper, but it's not as nice. So you want to get the cardstock. There is a difference, and it prints differently too. Alright, so I'm going to get my ink out. This is Archival ink in Coffee by Ranger, and I want to see if I need to ink up the edges of that. So I'm going to ink up around here, because remember I turned it inside out. And then now I want to decide if I'm going to put ink on those. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Whoa. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. What do you think? Think it looks cool? Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Did I decide if I was leaving it on the pink side or the green side? What did I decide? Maybe, should I put it on the pink side? Oh, I can't decide. Oh, goodness. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the pink side. What the heck? What the hey? It can't hurt anything, can it? I don't think it can. Alright, then I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac, my Beacon Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to attach them down. And then you can do some writing or something on the inside if you wanted to, or attach your love letters on the inside, or just put your love letters in there, period. You know, you can write the can make an envelope for each thing you like about your loved one. You know, you can get really corny with it. So I guess I'll just quit. I'll stop now. I shall stop now. And my glue's erupting. I must not be treating it right. It's not being nice to me. Alright, so what envelope do I want this to go in? What's the inside? I need to remember. Oh, look what I just did. I ripped it. I need to remember which, what's inside each envelope. I better fix that real quick. Yeah, I ripped it, you guys. See? It was stickier than I thought. So I think what I'll do is I'll just take some multi-matte medium and go up underneath that tear just a little bit. And then, hopefully, you won't even be able to tell I ripped it. Hopefully. Maybe I should take some of that stick off, or just be more careful. That would probably be the smartest thing to do. Alright, that's got pink on the inside. Let's take every one of them. That's got pink on the inside. Oh, that one might work. It's got pink on the outside. That one might work too. This one is the same paper, I think. It is. How about this one? Alright, so it's either going to be this one or this one. I think I'll do the pink one. So it fits in there just perfect. Woo-hoo! Then you close her up. Oh, I love it. And of course, you know, we might end up getting some stuff on the back side of the envelope, but alright, I like it. I need to take some, maybe I should have taken some of the stick off of there just a little bit, because see how it's really, so yeah, that's cool. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of them out, and then I'll be back. I like it. Alright, so I've got all the mats ready, so I thought I would just show you them real quick. So there's that one, front and back, and it says, "With fond love to thee," right there in the corner. Is that cute? So that, whoop, what row? Make sure, and then the doily pattern's on the inside, remember? So that goes in there, like that. There's one, and that one's like the front cover. And then a doily pattern on the inside. I tried to make sure that all the colors, you know, there wasn't yellow inside the yellow envelope, blah, blah. You get it. Oh, and then there's a rose with the green pattern on the back. That one's going to go in there. And then there's a rose wood pattern with the pink back. So it'll be on the inside, going in the blue envelope. I just love this paper. It's so pretty. And then there's a pretty little Cupid in a heart with some flowers and butterflies. And there's the back side of that. And it's going in this envelope here with the wood pattern. This is the one I ripped. And I don't think you can really tell. Oh, I don't think you can. Maybe a little. But hey, it's crafting. Wow, they just keep getting thicker, don't they? Oh, and there's one more. Ha! The one I showed you all how to do on camera. There's that one too. So there's 6 of them. I'm starting to think that maybe my rings aren't going to be big enough. So just like that. Fancy. So the next thing I want to do is my bags. So I need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And I'm gonna have to cut 1/4 of an inch off this end in order for it to fit inside my covers. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Try to get a straight line. You could tear it too if you want to. I might just cut one with my paper trimmer and then lay the rest. No, probably not. Let's see if that works. I'll test it with one of my covers here. Oh, a little bit more. It wasn't quite enough. I might have to cut the whole end off. No, I've already experimented. I know it works. About that. There we go. So I ended up cutting a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, it's probably about 3/8 of an inch. Maybe. What is that? Let's look. Let's measure. Oh, I cut a 1/2 inch off. Alright, well there you go. 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to try to keep it straight. Even though these bags most of the time aren't completely straight. Let's see if I can do a couple at a time. Or the rest of them at a time. Let's see what happens. They're not going to be perfect, but oh well. Alright, so the way it's going to work is one envelope will go into, that easy. Don't see how easy that was? To one bag, and I'll need, I don't know if it's a 1/2 inch, about a 1/2 inch on this end, so it's going to stick out just a tiny bit. Not much, because it won't be sealed. It'll be open, so I'll have room. But I wanted to maybe decorate the sides here with some of the cut-off pieces, like the 1-inch cut-off pieces. Let me see what I got. I'll be right back. Well, I don't have as many leftover pieces as I would need to like do something like this, because it's just not, it needs to be double and it's just not long enough. So I think what I'm going to try to do is wrap a doily around the end. So I've got my box of doilies. I need 6 of them. They don't have to be the same color, like exact, but pretty close would be great. That one might be too dark. Oh, dark, dark. How many do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, maybe I'll have to use another dark one. I didn't want to, but I might have to. I think it'll work. Alright, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it in half. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to fold it in half, and then I think all I'm going to do is just lay this in here like this and have it just like that. Something simple. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Let's see what it looks like. So I think all I'm going to do, first of all, I'm just going to run a bead of glue along the back side here. I might have to use some seam binding or something. And just put it up to where I folded it in half there. Then run another bead of glue. Whoa, right, chill. To coat that one down. And I don't know yet what else I'm going to do, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to do that. So I'm just going to attach doilies to each and every one of them, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I ended up doing, since they're all different colors, I ended up putting just a plain white one the same way, wrapped around the edge, just like that. So now I'm going to punch my holes, and I made myself a template so that it would be the same each time. And I'll probably do a couple at a time. And I'm using my Bind It All, my Zutter Bind It All. So it cuts through it beautifully. Let me see if I can do 2 at one time. I'm just loving the way this album is turning out. I'm running out of space here. Yes, all I can. I'm not going to push it to 3. I can't believe how many scraps I don't have for this album. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put these in the envelopes. Oh, maybe not. I'm trying to decide. I think I'll bind it and then put it in the envelopes. Yep. Alright, so I've got my back cover and my front cover. And I'm pretty sure your back cover is supposed to be on top of your front cover like this, I think. And then the wires that I'm using are these. They're Zutter, and they are Bind It All 1 1/4 inch antique brass. I always keep my scraps because you just never know. Wait a minute, something just doesn't seem right. So if I do it like this, no, that holds the front cover on. Ugh, every time I have to rethink what I'm doing. Okay, I think I figured it out. I think I do it different every time. I don't know. So I made my pile. There's my front cover, and there's all my pages. And then this is the back cover, and I flipped it over on top. And I think what you're supposed to do is then feed it this way. So I'm going to do that and see if I'm correct. And if not, well, that's okay. Okay. Oh no, wait, let's not confuse me. I did ink the edges of this real quick. I realized they were stark white, and I didn't want stark white on the edges. Come on, there we go. Well. Alright, so I've got them all feeded. I put them all on there. Now I'm on 1 1/4 inch, so I need to back up my little dial thingy. I need to clean my Bind It All. I'm going to stick it down in there and try to get up over top here. Make sure everything's flat. All the prongs are touching. Everything's in the middle. Then I'm going to gently squeeze all the way down. And I'm pretty sure it didn't close all the way. And it didn't. So I'm going to scooch it in a little bit. Same thing, I'm going to stick it down, make sure it's all flat. And I'm going to gently squeeze again. There we go. That's closed. That's perfect. Works for me. Let me move this out of the way. Whoop. So now, this is what we got. I hope I did it right. If not, oh well. Alright, so we got this so far. So let's add our envelopes. So I don't want to start with pink because the cover is pink. Let's see, what can we start with? Maybe this green one? Stick the green one in there. Like that. I bet you it's so big. And then let's do the white one. I bet you it got really chunky really fast. Wow. So it not only did it get chunky, but it come out the side here. So I'm going to have to figure out something about that. What can I do about that? Obviously I'm going to have to put a closure on there, but it looks like I'm going to have to trim off some more of the bag, which is okay. It's not a problem. I can do that. I should have considered that, and I should have used page 13 as the covers. It would have been bigger. So that's a good note, special note. All right, so I think I'm going to start, and I'm going to try to cut off some of this extra here. And if the envelope sticks out, well, the envelope sticks out. I like the rough edge of that, but you gotta make adjustments. Well, so let's see how that looks. There, that looks better. See, I don't really mind the envelope sticking out as much as I do the glassine bag. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut them all down, and I'll be right back. Okay, I trimmed all the envelopes down, but I just realized I should have done this first. I should have inked the envelope edges first. before I bound it, but I just got so excited. I couldn't wait. I couldn't stand it. So I just wanted to tell you I was going to do that, and I'll return. Okay, so I've done a few more things to it, and I'm going to do a real quick little flip through, and then I think I'm going to call this one finished. I was looking for a closure, and Marion Smith used to make one that was like a claw clasp type thing, and it had a chain, and I thought I had one, and I was looking. Well, I found all kinds of my Marion Smith stuff. I have like a big box of stuff. So I found these little Junk and Gem butterflies. They're probably still available on her website, and they're real bendy. So I stuck it right there on the cover, on the bow there, because there's butterflies throughout the paper line. And then I couldn't find the chain, so what I did was, y'all have seen me make these chains before, but what I did was I made a double one. So I just made two, just like this. And they started off looking just gold, like that. And I put some gesso on it, and then I put a little bit of the same ink on it. And I put a chain between the two. And I gave myself a little extra just in case it gets fatter. But then these are all Marion Smith little gems too. The milky white one is this vintage trinkets. And look at, I got it on sale probably a year or so ago for $1.79. You can't hardly beat that. But these are probably one of my favorite things she's ever come out with besides her paper lines. So I put one of those, the smaller one right there, and then I used some of these vintage trinkets that I got for $2.99. I'm sure I got it at Hobby Lobby. I got them both at Hobby Lobby. And I added those to there. And so all I did was use a jump ring, attach the chain. And so I'm going to attach one to the front cover, and then I'm going to attach one to the back cover, and then now I have my closure. So that's pretty simple, and it's cute, and it looks like it all blends in together. It looks like it was meant to be, like I planned it. Yes, I did. You know I did. You know I planned it. My cute little butterfly. I even added some gesso to my rings and some ink just to make it look older. I didn't do that so much to the inside of the rings, but I just added this butterfly. I'm afraid it's going to fall off. But didn't that turn out so pretty? So that's all I really did. I inked the edges of all of my Glassine bags here. And then remember, I've got my little seal there and my little Velcro. And then the inside of each one is the love letter little booklet. So I think for now, that's all I'm going to do. I'm sure I could keep going and going and going. Like I'm sure I could keep adding. I could add stuff to rings if I wanted to. I wanted to show you, I only used a very small amount of paper. So I have these pieces left over, which is not a lot. And then I have, let's see here, I didn't use that. That doesn't count. I have a few scraps from when I did the covers. And then I have these. Oh, and these are cut aparts that I'd already cut apart that I haven't used yet. But then I have all of these. So I'm thinking, if I can't figure out something to do in here with them, I'm going to have to make another album with this paper line. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, making another album with the paper line. So I just wanted to show you that's all the scraps that I had left over from making this album. And look how chunky it is. I just love it. I think it turned out so pretty. And I left the 6 pages in there. I could come back and stamp on these bags. They do stamp pretty well. Where's my, this was my, when I was messing around. So I stamped that with the same archival ink. This is actually a stamp set that goes with the blush line. But isn't that cute? And you need to let it sit for a little while. Heat setting doesn't exactly work, but it helps. So that's it. That's all I'm gonna do for this one right now. I really love the way it turned out. I think it's beautiful. And I love the mixed media covers, just the whole feel of it being shabby, and I just love it. I love everything about it. I love the bags. I'll put links to everything that I can in the description box below. Yeah, that almost didn't come out. And give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Bye.